Hello, I'm John Daniels. I'm the Chief Technology Officer and co-founder of Kinaptic. We're a U.S. company and we're developing wearable electronics for the stroke patient journey. We have a foundational technology for wearable electronics, including the ability to individually address electrodes and biosensors that can detect and apply electrical signals to and from the human body. Our first product, we're working with a large pharmaceutical company to develop a wearable electronic as a complement to drug therapy, so that we've got the drug-device combination, in this case for venous thromboembolism, which I'm very proud of the team we have. I've got a co-founder, Joe Curcio, who is a graduate of MIT with dual degrees. He's a roboticist. I've been an innovator for the past 30 years. I've been a U.S. patent attorney. I've sold inventions to large companies such as Microsoft and niche companies like Abu Garcia. Now we're working on a new use case for a wearable electronic for stroke rehab. Why go after stroke rehab? It's the leading cause of disability. It touches every family. It's fertile ground for innovation. We're on the eve of a revolution where cognitive enhancing drugs are going to be able to cross the blood-brain barrier and improve the connections of the neurons. We are also now, with our technology, able to invoke neuroplasticity through a drug-device combination. So that's where the future of our technology goes, and we're going to show you how we end up there. So we start with a simple product for a contracture patient. When a patient enters the hospital with an upper limb disability, whether it's stroke or some other condition, he's in danger of developing a contracture if that condition isn't fixed. With our wearable electronic device, after the body is stabilized, we can start collecting biometric data off of the body, and also we can invoke involuntary muscle contractions to cause the hand to pivot at the wrist. Provide a simple wearable electronic so that the patient with upper limb disability never has to have a contracture or atrophy. When the patient goes home, this sleeve now becomes a pinch and grasp sleeve. Now we're detecting electrical signals of the arm, and we're causing the arm to complete the intended movement of the patient. And then our product becomes something that can be used for VR stroke rehabilitation, and here's where we think we're going to change the world. Imagine we've got the patient immersed in a virtual reality space where they've got visual and audio cues coming in from their eyes and ears. They've got a wearable electronic device on, and we're creating involuntary muscle contractions, and we're creating haptic sensations that are synchronized with the virtual reality audio and visual cues. We give the brain something to chew on, and we invoke neuroplasticity, where those movements now create a rerouting of the brain, the connections of the brain around the damaged area. And there's quite a bit of scientific evidence proving this, and we've got a validity pathway where we're going to, in stages, prove exactly this. And this poor guy has got a contracture. His hand hasn't moved on its own in 18 months. We put our prototype sleeve on, and his hand stretches. Just imagine that relief. He had tears coming down his eyes. Imagine what that felt like. No patient should ever have contracture again. No patient should ever have atrophy. That product then becomes our VR stroke rehabilitation. And this is a technology that I really think can change the world, because what we're doing is, for the first time, we're controlling the invocation of neuroplasticity using a virtual reality headset to provide audio and visual cues that are also synchronized with our wearable electronic, causing of involuntary muscle contractions and other haptic sensations. So we can engage the body fully and create a reconnection between the brain and the body through the invocation of neuroplasticity. Really been aggressive with the intellectual property strategy. Right now we've got our earliest patents starting to issue already. Those are for the stroke rehabilitation system, and then we've got a pipeline of patent applications throughout the world and in the US. And the market is enormous. We're talking about a US market alone that's $13.6 billion, 800,000 new stroke patients every year. Of that 800,000, about a third of them end up with an upper limb disability that would be a candidate for this first product, the contracture sleeve, put on at the hospital as the entry point so that they receive a pipeline of the Kinaptic products throughout the rehabilitation process. In China, there's a growing and receptive market. It's the biggest increase in the stroke population, and it's the biggest market growth outside of the US, but the market lacks innovative new products, and that's what we'd like to bring to market. The experts are saying that China, the Chinese stroke market holds the largest opportunities for companies that are pursuing post-stroke recovery. Now we take this further beyond stroke and other patients, patients that have brain trauma caused by maybe a disease such as multiple sclerosis or an accident. Now it's an enormous market. This is a $140 billion annual US and rest of the world market, and it's growing at about 8% a year. And of course there's competition. We love competition. The fact that there's competition shows that there's technology being deployed for these use cases, but the competition is either ineffective or very expensive, and typically it's both. So you can see the Sable VR system is about $20,000. Now, we know what it costs for us to make our system, so I don't know what is involved in that $20,000 price tag, but you can see from the photograph that this is a very clunky first generation attempt where you've got the need for a very large display, you've got a technician or physical therapist always involved, and you've got this mechanical system that's moving the body. We take advantage of the body's own electrical systems, the body's own muscle-skeletal system, and by applying the electroceutical signals, we create the neuroplasticity that's necessary for regaining the brain-body connection. Now again, just to look from a business model standpoint, it's important when you think about how you're going to get a product to market, especially a medical device product. The costs are enormous, of course, to develop the technology, to gear up for production, and it's important that you make a product that can be manufactured at scale and has an entry point that makes sense. So in our case, we've got this very elegant, very low-cost product that we can manufacture with existing equipment that's been modified for our needs. We enter the marketplace at the point where every patient starts, and that's at the hospital. So you sell many products to the hospital for many end users, and it's the natural starting point for this product. And then as the patient goes home and goes to their physical therapy, they progress through our pipeline of products, ultimately ending with the virtual reality stroke rehabilitation system that can be used at the physical therapy office or at home. Now just quickly, what brain plasticity is, it's the transference of brain activity from one brain location to the other. And this is demonstrated over and over again. It's been demonstrated in animal studies. It's been demonstrated in dissection of cadavers. And what happens is the brain reroutes neuron connections to overcome and to compensate for damaged areas. So you can see from the green lines on the right, which are the brain reconnecting those neuronal pathways. So now a brain that's been damaged in the left hemisphere that typically would control the right hemisphere relearns how to use that undamaged part, in this case the right hemisphere of the body, so that it can control both right and left hemisphere motor skills. Thank you very much. I appreciate you taking the time to review this presentation. Please contact us if you have any questions. My name is John Daniels again. My email is john.daniels@kinaptic.com. You can see that on the screen, or you can contact us at info@kinaptic.com. Thank you.